So I'm back with fly number 4 from Mike Valla's Tying the Founding Flies. This one is Chauncy Lively's Carpenter Ant. So if you're following along in this series and you haven't picked up this book yet, check it out. It is definitely worth having. Each chapter is a pattern, so we're on chapter 4, but he goes into a lot of the history and he just tells stories about, why this is his favorite ant pattern or favorite terrestrial pattern, and how he's discovered it and how he's tied and fished it for 45 years and that he will never fish an ant other than this one, which tells me that Valla is pretty old school because, the ants in my fly box are foam and they take about a minute to tie. But this one's not hard to tie either. It's just a one material. It's black deer body hair. And I say it's not hard to tie and it's pretty quick, but it is kind of hard to make it look perfect. I mean, the one you're about to see me tie is far from perfect. It's a fishable fly, but it can be just a little bit scraggly. And if you tie any of these, yeah, you'll see that too. Now, I can't recall ever having fished this pattern, the deer hair Carpenter ant, because I usually fish foam ones, but I tied half a dozen tonight, so I'm going to put them in my terrestrial box, and next summer when it gets warm, I'm going to give them a shot. So there it is in the vise, Chauncy Lively's Carpenter ant, and Mike Valla's favorite terrestrial pattern in the summer months, according to his book. Now, sizes for this are 10 to 18, because apparently Carpenter ants can get pretty big. That's a size 12, one extra long barbless dry fly hook. And I'm going to use some black 52 denier thread. I'm going to catch it in about in the middle. Let's see, you can go a little farther back if you want, but make sure you leave your thread kind of right in the middle. And the only material in this thing is a dyed black deer body hair. And you'll want to take a medium-sized tuft. See that? There's a lot of really fine, I guess, under fur in here, just small hairs. If you've got a comb like this, yeah, it's worth the 30 seconds it takes to really clean this out, or you're just going to have a lot of those little small, fine hairs at the end to have to trim. So spend a few seconds, cleaning it up right now, and then we'll put it in our stacker. Let's see if this stacked okay. Got some crazy hairs sticking out all over the place there. Can I get rid of those? Nah, we'll be fine. All right, let's see if this stacked okay. Yep, that stacked all right. And what I've been doing is, those are all the butt ends. See how they're not really even anymore? Just cut them off. Give me a little even tie-in point right there. Didn't get them all, but I think that's enough. Let's just try to get, oh, that's not a hair. That's part of my thread right there. So we're just gonna have to work right through that. But let's see. All right, I got a couple of short hairs that probably aren't gonna catch, but we'll try. So when we go ahead and do, and what I've been doing, 2 wraps right here before I really bind it down. And now you can put a couple of tight wraps right here. And Valla said to do this in one of the subsequent steps, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little haircut right now. It just might make the next couple of steps easier. Might not make a difference because we're gonna have to kind of trim them anyway. Okay, so I think we're gonna be all right. Now, well, get any loose hairs out of there. We've got hairs going everywhere here. All right, now let's take our thread back. We're gonna create a little segment right here. And Valla called this a flotation billet. So we got a couple right there. I'm not binding this hair down to the hook too much. I want a little bulb right there. So those are going to kind of help it to float. So we've got 2 little bulbs right there, and now light wraps, medium wraps to get our thread back up here. And we're going to bind all these butt ends down right here and then trim the ones that we can't bind in. Okay, so spend a little bit of time right here just trying to clean these up. Is this vital? I don't know, probably not. It will make it a little bit prettier, but I haven't really tied a pretty one of these yet tonight. All right, that's gonna be close enough. I'll just do a few wraps right here to try and flatten that out a little bit. I've got a couple of stubbies coming off the bottom, but I'm not gonna sweat it. So now grab all your hair, try to make sure you get them all, and we're gonna fold it over. See, our thread's back in the middle of the hook. We're gonna fold this over, and this is gonna be our abdomen. you know, kind of the back of your fly, the little fat belly of the ant. All right, so a medium wrap and then kind of a tight wrap right there. Now lift it up, bring your thread up under, almost like you were doing a segmented hopper body. So our thread's a little forward, and now we'll put another bulb right here. You can do these medium wraps if you want. And if it's not bulbous enough for you, one thing Valla said you could do, just grab the hair and then just kind of compress it a little bit, push it back, and that might make that a little more bulbous. And we're going to do that one more time up here behind the eye. So give us a little third bulb up here. I'm getting pretty close to the front of my eye, and I think we got enough room for 3 bulbs here. I'm just going to have to push them back a little bit. And now I can go in with a couple of pretty tight wraps right here. All right, so we got our 3 segments there, and 4 or 5 hairs just pull back. These are going to be our legs. And I would probably do a little bit more than 4 or 5, because then if you need, you can trim them short. But we'll put a few more securing wraps right here, and everything forward of this, we're going to trim as close as we can get it here. Okay, now we just bury those butt ends in our head here. All right, we'll do a whip finish and then take care of trimming those legs. And he says cut the legs about halfway down the back. You know, ants' legs aren't all that long. And you can see in this one, some of those really fine hairs are still in there. Trim them if you want, maybe singe them, or just don't worry about them. And what I will do on this one though, I'll take my singeing tool and just clean up those butt ends right there before I put any head cement on it, just to make sure that I can still get my tippet up through that eye. So there you go, pretty rough looking Carpenter ant, but this thing's going in my box. I know it'll fish. So I appreciate you watching, folks. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.